we're doing something new today. With the generosity of TCS, we're taking over their wonderful dome and experimenting with a new way of doing Davos. So historically, it's all the great and the good sit up here and preach at you, and that's informative, but we wanted to do something else. And what we wanted to do is get you talking to the people that are actually building things, doing things on the ground, and with an emphasis of actually doing. So I like to think of this as TED meets Media Lab. Media Lab is demo or die. TED is ideas that will change the world. My co-conspirator here is John Werner, who keeps running around doing things. He's a genius at organizing things, and I'm sure if you're a speaker, you've got more emails from him and phone calls than any other person. I found out his secret last night because we're sharing a condo. He doesn't actually sleep, right?
I sleep a little bit.
He sleeps a little bit. Anyway, so the idea here is people are going to give 5-minute pitches about why you should talk to them, and then come into the audience where you can talk to them one-on-one and create the future. And all the demo booths in the back, these are all of my research group's students, partners, people that are doing things in the real world. Like Alejandro here is working with IDB to redo the social net of 5 countries in Latin America. I mean, for real, right now. We have other people that are redoing tax systems in different countries. We have one of the most interesting things for music being open and free. And we actually got the US Congress to pass a law. You should all be in disbelief. The US Congress passed a law? My God, they did something? Anyway, talk to folks. That's the point. So John, I'm going to let you take over.
Great. So you guys, welcome here today. So Sandy and I were at the Media Lab for years, and there's a gentleman, actually, he just emailed me this morning, David Senge. He's part of the cabinet of the country of Sierra Leone, and his research was on making prosthetics for people who are missing limbs. And he would go back to his country, 3,000 countrymen were missing limbs, and they wouldn't wear the prosthetics. And I asked him, like, why was that? And he said that's because the technology didn't respect his countrymen. So he figured out how to scan your nub where it was hard and soft and 3D print prosthetics that people would wear. And I got into a deeper conversation, and he said at the end of the day, as a society, we're not very good at connecting technology and people, biology. And I think as we think about AI and as we think about blockchain, those are technologies that we also need to think about the human dimension. And I'm really proud that today's programming is going to do that. So we're in Switzerland. This is MIT. We did this event last May 11th. And coming up on April 27th, we're going to do it again at MIT. This is where we did it at MIT. Fabio, who's in the back, who's doing supply chain with blockchain, he had an artist graphically depict all the speakers, and he's actually going to do it again. It's going to be a nice thank you note, so stay tuned for that. I want to thank Sandy, who's considered one of the top 5 data scientists in the world, according to Forbes magazine. Thank you, Forbes, for being a co-host with me. Rajesh, the CEO of TCS, and then Mike Federal. If you don't recognize him right there in stereo, he's right here. He's the CEO of Forbes, and Forbes is all in on this. I also want to thank FC. I met with him a number of times. He's the founder, leader of TCS, and a brilliant guy. I think he's in his 80s, but he was the first leader, and I've gotten to know Chandra over the years, just one of the best leaders I know. And this dome is remarkable. And when you speak, your voice can bounce up and someone can hear you in other places. And when you think of blockchain and decentralization, I feel like the dome is actually a metaphor. So the bug is actually a feature. And as we think of decentralizing institutions. So this dome was built, and it's pretty amazing. These demos, these are the logos. They're all back there. This is sort of a three-ring circus. The speakers are going to speak for 5 minutes here, then they're going to get interviewed out there, but you can also meet them before they speak or after here, and we want to create these connections. 10 blocks, each speaker's 5 minutes, and we have 2 cameras, a close-up and a wide angle, and we want these talks to go viral. If you can't hear it so well because of the echoing, these are not party favors. These are expensive, but you can use these today where you can hear much better, and they're distributed around here. And we have hosts for each of the blocks, and Megan Smith is going to be our closer, and there's a master chef, Michelin chef, who's in the back making food, and Sandy has some books that he wrote that you as party favors.